Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, it's been a little over 2 years since I've purchased my Everlast welding equipment, and I get a lot of comments in the comments section. A lot of my regular viewers asking me, how well do you like your machines? How well do they weld? And what do you think, and would you purchase them again in the near future? Well, I'd like to show you my equipment, talk a little bit about them, and let you know what I think. Let's do it. Okay, so here they all are. First, I want to get started by saying this is not a paid endorsement by Everlast, nor am I affiliated in any way whatsoever with Everlast. I paid full retail for every one of these, just about $4,000. First of all, I want to talk, I'll let you know what I have right here. This is the Power iMig 205 on the end right here. This is the Power Plasma 60S, and then the Power Arc 300 ST, and the Power TIG 210 EXT. So let's talk about the Power iMig 205 first. I purchased 3 out of the 4 pieces of equipment on December 31st, 2014. Bad timing during the holidays and everything to try to get everything shipped out. But about a week and a half later, 3 pieces came to my front door. This is the first one that I opened up. And when I opened it up, I plugged it in and it made a horrible noise. It would just sound like everything was coming apart on the inside. I knew there was something wrong. I called Everlast, and right away they identified that it was the fan that was broken, and that often happens during shipping. And they were quick to send me out, or I should say, they sent me out a fan, no problem. Took 2 weeks to get here. And I chose to install it myself. Now, if you're not mechanically inclined in any way, there's no way that the average person could install this fan. I actually did a video on the install of the fan on this thing, and I gotta say, it was pretty complicated. But however, I got it installed, and it's been working perfectly fine ever since. I've been using this. This almost gets used daily here in the shop, and I've had no issues whatsoever after I installed that fan, and this thing's working perfectly fine. So let's move over here to the Power Plasma 60S. This doesn't quite get as much use as the Power iMig 205. However, I do use it a lot, and it's been in a lot of my videos. I did have an issue with this thing. I did talk about it in one of my videos, but it was clearly everything 100% my fault. You know, I was busy trying to film. I'm running the camera. I'm trying to get everything ready to go, and I forgot to hook the ground clamp up to the workpiece, and I proceeded to try to cut. Well, I got about 15 seconds in and the machine completely exploded. It just went boom. I mean, pieces everywhere. So I got on the phone to Everlast and I told them the situation. I was honest about it. I said, listen, clearly my fault. This is what happened. Well, they honored the warranty and they repaired it. Now, it took 4 months to get it done, but I got it back, and I got to say it's worked flawlessly ever since. Again, that was my fault. If I would have never done that, or I should say, if I would have had the ground clamp hooked to the workpiece, the thing today would have been working flawlessly, I'm sure. So this thing is back in business 100%, no issues whatsoever. I got the Power Arc 300 ST down here. This is a 300 amp stick welding machine. I got that because I do a lot of big thick plate welding, steel columns and stuff like that. I'm running a lot of bigger amperage and bigger rods. It works perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with its performance whatsoever, other than the fact it seems to burn a lot hotter than, let's say, the Power iMig 205 in the stick welding mode. A 1/8 inch 7018 electrode on this machine comfortably runs very smoothly and comfortably at about 120, 125 amps. This machine down here, the very same electrode, works very smooth at about 107 to 115 amps. So it does run a lot hotter. If this thing was at 125 amps, it's much hotter than this one would be, that's for sure. And I don't know if it's because this is just a dedicated stick machine only, and this is a dual purpose machine. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but nevertheless, I'm very happy with the performance of this machine as well. Okay, so this is the Power TIG 210 EXT. Again, this came the same time when I purchased all 3 of the other 2 pieces of equipment. All 3 came at the same time. This one doesn't get as much use, although it does get used, and I elected to start doing a series of TIG welding videos a while back and thought this was a great opportunity to use this machine. However, the very first strike of the arc, on the very first video, I lost the high frequency in this and was solely relying on lift start. Now, if you guys, again, by no means, I don't claim to be the TIG welding master by any means, but I've used this over the last couple of years. I've had no issues with it up until then. So relying on lift start TIG is something different for me, since I was started right out with high frequency, and there's nothing like having a high frequency, just getting your tip right down there and having it arc instantly, versus lift start or scratch start TIG. That was a little bit of a challenge for me to get used to, but I was able to overcome in those videos. So after that was all over, I called Everlast and said, hey, I have a problem here. My high frequency went out. They did a little bit of troubleshooting, and they for sure identified that was the problem, was the high frequency board was the issue. They gave me two options. They said you could send the machine to us, or we can send you a new card and you can install it. Now, I was a little reluctant to send the machine up there because of my last experience, 4 months with the Power Plasma 60S. However, he assured me that that wasn't going to happen, that if I sent the machine up, there would be a 2 or 3 week turnaround, which is fine. Now, I'm here in Southern California. They're on the eastern seaboard. They're up in actually Canada, northern Canada, on the eastern side. And I just figured that I don't want to ship it all the way up there, wait all that time and have it shipped back. I'd rather them ship me the card and I would install it. So that's what I chose to do. The card was here in 2 days, which I thought was awesome. They shipped that thing out and 2-day delivery, and it was here. So I have a little bit of video on the installation of that card. Not a lot, but some clips to show you what it takes. And again, just like, if you've never opened up an inverter welder to see what's on the inside, they're much more different than a transformer welder. These things look like computers on the inside. They are just tons of electronics everywhere, and it's really quite confusing. However, I was able to get the high frequency card installed, and nothing but good news. I've used it quite a bit since then, and it works flawlessly like a brand new car, and I couldn't be more happier. So all in all, here's my Everlast welding equipment. I would, if you're asking me to give you a grade, I would give this Everlast an A-. Would I recommend this equipment? Yes, I would. Would I purchase it again? Yes, I would. Despite the issues that I've had with a couple of them, some of them my fault, some of them not my fault, some of them shipping's fault, I'm very pleased with everything I have right here. So I hope this video was somewhat informative to you guys that have all the comments and asking all the questions. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.